Finally here at 4, it's a special that's a few months in the making. This is usually the time we would share a story by CNN's Jeanne Moos, but tonight it's a story about her. She agreed to talk with Newswatch 16 about her career, some of her favorite stories, and how she comes up with the gems you see every day.
Eyes up. Come on, eyes up. Watch this.
We're lucky that veteran journalist CNN's Jeanne Moos has been part of our newscast for years. Now, the 4 o'clock producer, Carrie Brazen, and I would like you to get to know her away from the cameras and the bright lights of the Big Apple.
It's gorgeous, huh? Yeah, it really is.
There's peace and quiet here, a simple cabin on a lake where she spends every weekend away from her home in New York City. Notice, there's no TV.
There's no media. There's no media. Well, that's not true, yeah, it's just music. No news.
Jeanne Moos grew up in the Pittsburgh area and graduated from Syracuse University before making her way in the news biz. A writer by trade with a knack for making people laugh and an unusual voice.
The moral of the story? In the beginning, I had a guy offer to give me free voice lessons because my voice was so annoying. It was as if the movie Tin Cup had come to life.
We wondered where her hilarious story ideas come from. Jeanne says just when she thinks she'll run out of material, there's something else absurd to talk about.
Roll my eyes is my favorite thing to happen. If I roll my, that is the kind of story indicator. If you can roll your eyes, it's got potential.
But pointing out the oddities of human behavior wasn't her first gig. Right out of college, she landed at a station in Plattsburgh, New York. It was 1976.
The first woman on the air, I think it was.
Some are simply on display, like my friend here.
For 4 years, she made history there as a general assignment reporter, but only for 4, she points out. She was fired.
They begged me to come back after they fired me, so insubordination. Anyway.
So Jeanne drove to New York City with no money, so she stayed with friends, and soon found herself at a little unknown startup, just 6 months old at the time, the cable news network you may know as CNN.
They hired me as a writer for the first couple months, and then a reporter got let go, and they made me a reporter, and that was it.
And that led to some big assignments back then, covering the first Gulf War in Iraq, reporting from Tiananmen Square and the Great Wall of China, meeting world leaders and the movers and shakers of the day.
I had a funny moment with President Nixon, where he came out of an elevator. It was after Nixon was done being president. Everyone's asking questions, and I said, "President Reagan." And there was a little silence, and he says, "I've been called much worse."
Jeanne says it was a great time to be a reporter, but she missed creative writing. And with her boss's okay, she decided to tell the stories the way she wanted.
You haven't lived until you've had a kind of interspecies hug.
A few favorite experiences, that moment with a baby chimp.
Have you ever committed adultery? Chippy.
And a more violent encounter with a hippo.
She seems to like to be mocked. Okay, just kidding. Just kidding.
Present day, back at the lake, Jeanne admits she didn't want to do this interview at first. She likes to keep a low profile and, in fact, doesn't even sit out on this dock very much, despite the lovely view.
People come very close to the dock with their boats. I've been sitting on the deck and watched a fisherman come up here and run into the dock. Like I said to him, I barely had to raise my voice. I said, "Hey, you can hit the dock."
But she says she is thankful to have had a long career telling great stories and is grateful that viewers like the ones here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania enjoy what she does. Just don't try to get her to spill her storytelling secrets.
But there is a formula. I'm not going to tell you what the formula is, but there is a formula.
To your pieces or to
No, to my pieces.
To your pieces.
Yeah.
End of story.
Zip it. Jeanne Moos, CNN. New York.
And we can't wait to see what she comes up with next.